Hello and welcome all you beautiful, wonderful, amazing people out there. This is Nash Riker with Your Epic Destiny TV. And I'm here with a very beautiful and amazing and inspiring person whom I am personally quite fascinated with. And her name is Sally Hope from sallyhope.com. And we're going to get a chance to get to know Sally a little bit and what kind of good she's doing in the world and positive change she's creating in people's lives. So I know that you're really going to enjoy meeting her and learning more about her. But let me just tell you real quick, Sally is a Renegade Life and Business Coach, which I love that title. That's so kick-ass to me. And a personal love and sexiness coach. So that's really cool too. So she will definitely inspire all of you ladies that are watching this out there and you guys as well. As you can see, you know, I connected with her because I was quite inspired by her and her life. So everybody will definitely take something away from this conversation. So Sally Hope, how are you doing today? Thanks for being with us.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. I'm doing great and happy to be here, happy to connect with you and all your people watching. Hello.
Good deal. I'm very excited. All right. So Sally, let's just start with this. Tell us a little bit about your background and because I know you got quite a colorful background, especially in contrast to like what you're doing now, and it's so cool though. Tell us a little bit about your background and then also what inspired the transition from being a rocker, a rock star that you were, to being a life coach.
Okay, yeah, so my background, geez, I'm like, where to start? But I will start with rocker. I spent about 7 years in the music industry as a touring musician, a bass player in a band. And it was everything you'd imagine, you know, fun, rock and roll, wild, great. I lived in LA, so I did the whole music industry in its full form. And I remember one moment I was in the back of the bus and I was just sitting there on the road. I can't remember what state we were in. And I was just looking out the window and I had the feeling that there was something bigger for me. Like I knew that I loved playing music and I knew that I loved being in a band, but I also knew that I wanted to have a bigger impact in a different way that wasn't just as a musician. And I always had this feeling inside that I was supposed to affect people. And when I was in the band, I realized that that was my biggest role and my most exciting, fun part of being in the band was when girls would come up to me after the show and they would say, oh my gosh, I've always dreamed of, you know, X, Y, or Z, but often it was music. You know, I've always dreamed of doing what you do, and I never thought that I could. Like, I never thought a girl could do that. And it became like my most favorite thing. I would wait until after the shows, and I'm like, okay, who am I going to get to talk to today that needs a little bit of inspiration and motivation for their own dreams? And so while I was still in the band, I started a website and I, you know, got these girls' email addresses and I would email with them and I'd, you know, kind of help them on their own way towards their dreams. And I didn't realize it at the time, but I was a life coach back then.
Nice.
You know,
you just didn't have the official title then.
I didn't even know that it existed back then. I didn't even know it was a title back then.
It came naturally to you. That's cool.
It did, and it was what kept me in music for as long as I was there, because I'm like, well, you know, this is what I'm supposed to do. I'm supposed to impact people in this way and inspire them to live their own dreams. And then as time went by, the music industry business itself became less and less appealing to me, and the role of encouraging and motivating and helping and mentoring these amazing girls and women became more important to me. And I sort of just I got introduced to the word life coach from another person in the music industry, and I was like, I looked it up online and I'm like, oh, this kind of sounds like exactly what I want to do. So left LA, left music, and got my coaching credentials, and a few years later, here I am.
Nice. So now you make it's a full-time career to inspire and encourage and uplift and motivate people. And
Yeah.
I just think that's so cool. Let me get your perspective on, what's your, you've been doing life coaching now for how long? A couple years, few years?
Well, yeah, I started school about 4 years ago, and in my program, we have to start coaching immediately. So I view myself as coaching for about 4 years, but really having my own practice for about 3.
Okay. Yeah, you're just kind of getting your feet wet there for the first year, and then...
Oh my God, it's like terribly fumbly. You're uncomfortable, you don't know what to say,
Yeah.
Like, God bless those first clients I had, who let me practice on them.
Right on. Oh, that's funny. Very cool. What's your favorite thing now, after having done this for several years? What's your favorite thing about life coaching and doing what you do?
Oh gosh, that's a great question. I think it's the same thing that was my favorite thing about when I would do it in the band. It's that moment where somebody realizes that they can change their lives. That it's actually more simple than they think it's been. People think of personal development as like a bunch of hard work and it's going to take forever, and who knows how long it's going to take. But the moment where they're like a possibility, where they switch from being like, I don't know what the hell to, wow, I never thought of it like that.
Nice.
Yeah.
And then their whole outlook on their whole the rest of their life can change and shift in a totally different direction, right?
Absolutely. There's way more possibility, and I really believe if somebody comes in with a really open heart and an open mind, everybody can get there. If you're willing to get there, you can.
Nice. That's cool. And I personally, my experience of transforming my life has been coming to the realization through some different mentors and teachers that the greatness and the happiness and the peace that we all seek is already within us.
Yeah.
It's already within us. And sometimes it just takes somebody like you, a life coach, to bring us to that awareness, right? And when we can come to that awareness and realize that, we can generate our own happiness. We can generate our own peace from within. We can recognize the greatness that's within us already. Then it makes the process so much easier, right?
Well, it does and it doesn't. It's almost like, I think that it makes it easier, but I think it also makes it deeper, like no longer can you blame anybody else for your problems, or no longer can you, be like, well, my life sucks. It's the self-responsibility of it that I find really fascinating.
True.
Because it's both easier and it's also more challenging in certain ways. It's that question of like, man, I'm in a bad mood. Damn it, I shouldn't be in a bad mood. Shoot, I just said I shouldn't feel how I feel. And then you go through this process of this self-awareness process that has its own challenges. But to me, it's the only way, to joy.
You're right. And, but you're so right though, because kind of the quote unquote easy route is to just, pass the buck off to other people, pass the blame off to other people. Yeah. Claim the victim card, right? And because my life is this way, because these people did this or these situations happened, that's why my life is this way. Yeah, you're right. That is easier because it doesn't require any self-reflection. Doesn't require cutting yourself open, if you will, and pulling out the bad things, and leaving what's good.
That's right.
So
having to really look at yourself. It's like, oh gosh, I don't want to see that.
Yes.
Yeah. So it brings its own challenges, but for me, it's what wildhearting is. Self-reflection, self-responsibility, being kind to yourself.
Nice.
Taking that time.
Yep, that's cool, and that's so important though, to claim responsibility. That definitely I feel is like step one. Is claim responsibility for your own life, for your own situation, for your own happiness, for your emotions, right? Like, we're in full control over our emotions and our happiness. Not other people, we are, right? I think that's so important. So let me ask you this. You've been a rock star. You've lived in Costa Rica, right?
Yeah.
You've traveled across the country in an RV multiple times, apparently, right?
Yeah.
which I've watched several of your videos. I think they're
Oh,
fun and exciting,
thank
and
you.
you guys had to have had just a blast. I mean, real quick before I get to my question, like, what can you pinpoint a couple experiences maybe that stand out? Let's take your Girls Gone Moto for example, because that was a journey across the country with a couple of your best friends and your dog, which looks like a really kick-ass dog, by the way. He's
Thank you.
huge. I couldn't believe how big he was. And you guys just traveled all around the country, and you started off with like not even having a plan of where you were going, but you did have an intention of spreading happiness, spreading inspiration, spreading love, right? What are a couple experiences between that and maybe even Costa Rica? I don't know as much about your Costa Rica adventures, but a couple experiences that stand out that really just stuck with you, that are meaningful, that maybe you could share that would help other people?
Yeah, okay, so Costa Rica, I'll start there. Just the decision to go is the moment. So I had never done anything like that. Anybody who's seen me now might not know this about me, but I never was a very adventurous person. I was always very like, I like my home, I like my things the way they are, I like familiarity, I like routine.
Mm-hmm.
And that's always how I've been, and I've never really been a traveler. Like, I never cared that much. I mean, it sounds bad, but that's the truth.
Mm-hmm.
And I had this opportunity where somebody wanted to pay my rent in my apartment, and for a month. And I was like, well, my business is mobile. I might as well go somewhere, Let's check it out. I was in a very exploratory part of my life. Well, this terrified me, but it also really excited me. And so I made the decision, and simply making the decision to go changed everything. Everything fell into place. I convinced a friend to go with me. We found an apartment in this beautiful place, and I found out that I can create my life the way that I want to. I can live in Costa Rica if I want to and do my business. I could, I can do anything. It opened up the door for possibility. So there are a million moments, I could say, a million, like arriving on a giant boat into the island we were going to be staying, or, not knowing where our apartment was and not speaking the language, and not, there are a million moments that are amazing. But I think it's the decision to do something that's kind of scary, but you feel is the right thing that changed everything for me.
Nice.
Yeah, and that actually goes the same for Girls Gone Moto and the RV road trips. But there were a lot of times on the RV road trip for Girls Gone Moto where we would have lots of challenges. So we would break down, or our tires would blow, or we would stall, or the RV wouldn't start, or we'd have frozen pipes, or and people would always help. There was always somebody there to support us and help us, and it was such a great symbiotic kind of relationship, because that's what we were out there doing. We were out there to affect people's lives, to do random acts of kindness, to volunteer, to put ourselves out there in any way that we could to make people's days brighter. And we kept on facing these challenges, which kept on having us to reevaluate. Like, okay, we have a mission, we're doing this, we have a mission, no matter what our challenges are, we're not going home. So
that's cool.
Yeah.
Very cool. Just to add on to that, like something that comes to mind is a saying that I've heard a bunch, is that all of our dreams and desires lie outside of our comfort zone. And I think that's key. I mean, that's exactly what you experienced. As soon as you decided to step out of your comfort zone, you said things started falling into place. Amazing new experiences started happening. Probably amazing new friends and people started coming into your life.
Oh my gosh. And also, you learn so much about yourself when you're put in situations that are challenging for you. When you're outside of your norm, you have to rise to the occasion when challenges arise. And when you do that, you become a higher version of yourself.
Nice. Yeah, that's the only way we can grow as a person, is to push our comfort zone, push our boundaries, right? And I think continuous growth as a human being is critical to happiness and fulfillment, right? Otherwise,
personally, yes, I believe that.
yeah, we become stagnant otherwise, right? And just like stuck, and that's how I felt for so long before. This past year when I started really making some transitions in my life, I just felt stuck. Like, wasn't going anywhere, wasn't accomplishing anything. I didn't feel fulfilled at all. Wasn't really making a difference in the world, no kind of tangible difference in the world. And but it was, it was when I started pushing my boundaries of what I thought I was capable of. That's when really things started happening. And that's one of the reasons why I started this online interview show, is to push my own comfort zone, right? This is not exactly comfortable for me, but it's fun and it's exhilarating, right? And I get to connect with some of the most amazing people on the planet, To me, that's the coolest thing ever, and it makes it all worth it. And also, I mean, I also get to take your message and share it with the world, right? As many, I don't know how many thousands or possibly millions of people will possibly watch this video, but there are going to be plenty of people that will watch it, right? And even if one person gets inspired to push their comfort zone, to step into the unknown a little bit, right, and discover who they really are, I mean, it makes it all worth it.
Absolutely.
Makes it all worth it.
Well, congratulations. High five on you.
Thank you. So what, you've done all these things, been traveling, you've been doing all this stuff. Now you've settled down for a little bit in Montana.
That's right.
How are you liking Montana, by the way?
Oh, I love it.
Oh, man.
I love it out here.
Are you doing things outdoors like all the time?
Yeah. And in the winter you want to get outdoors because you'll get cabin fever if you don't. And in the summer, it's just so unbelievably beautiful that I personally feel bad if I don't go out and enjoy the day when it's so beautiful out. So yeah.
Good.
I mean, there's so much to do out here. I love Montana.
That's cool. Do you still have a motorcycle?
Oh yeah.
Really? How often do you get to take out the hog?
I try to take it out every time the weather is good. So lately, I try to get out every day if I can, even if it's for a quick ride. I'm a new rider, so I want to keep my chops up. I want to get better, and
that's one of the things that's on my bucket list, is to get a motorcycle and get out there and just experience the open road and the wind and oh man, I think about it all the time, and especially on a beautiful summer or spring day, and I see these people out there cruising around. I'm like, that is in my future for sure.
Cool.
So what? Let's see here. Let me ask you this. Now, this is kind of a interesting question. If you could put into words, what is the intention of your life right now?
That's a great question. Well, the first word that actually popped into my head was love. Mm-hmm. But I think that in that love umbrella is what I've been doing and what was really important to me in the band, which is inspiration, motivation, showing people a different way.
That's good.
Yeah. Yeah.
Cool. And that, what, people need that, because in my opinion anyways, just based on my experience and my observation on our modern culture, especially in America, so many people are disillusioned. They just, because they've bought into this this template lifestyle that they're supposed to live by, right? Where you go out and you go to school for a bunch of years, get into tons of debt. You go and you're supposed to pick a career that's supposed to be it for you for the rest of your life, right? And we all know that very rarely does that even happen. Like, I know so many people that spend years in school and they get in $50,000, $60,000, $70,000 in debt, and then they either can't find a job in their chosen field, or they get into that field and realize that it sucks, right? And that it's unfulfilling, they're not happy, and all these things. And so then they're, the confusion and unfulfillment sets in and all of this. And I know people like that. I was like that. And I think that people like you that are opening the door to a different way, right? Showing them a different way and better options that are available to them.
Yeah.
So important.
Well, and thank you. And with what you said, I think at the heart of the matter, what it is it's showing people choice. Like, we have a choice.
Yeah.
you know, we can choose that template, how you called it. We can choose the career with the, you know, degree in college. We can choose all that, and that's perfectly fine. But know that it's your choice.
Yeah, nice. Nice. Yeah, you don't have to just accept what other people or society or friends or families said that you should be doing.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. And
Yeah, you don't have to, and you can, and there's no one that's better than the other, but it's the consciousness with the decision that I think matters. You know, how conscious are you in your choices?
Right. And following your heart, too, I think is important, too. I think that's one of the things that you probably help people do, is to live more from the heart than, you know, from the head, maybe, or from just what they've bought into as the way things are supposed to be. But living from the heart and following their heart. Would you agree that that's something that you help people do?
Yeah, and you know, I don't know that everybody identifies with living from the heart. I don't know that everyone knows what that means. But what I look at it like is I help people live for who they are. You know, like a lot of people, the ones that you say are unhappy that are in the template and the job and the, you know, whatever, a lot of those people, that's not who they truly are.
Yeah.
Maybe they want to be more free spirited, or maybe they're artists, or maybe they are, you know, musicians, but they are in a, you know, a job that they hate because they thought they had to. So it's more like connecting to, you can call it heart, I do, but it's really connecting to who we truly are and letting that person come out and play.
Cool. That's cool. Yeah, right on, right on. That's one of the things that really has helped me, is to start paying attention to, like, the inner creativity that I have, that I've been suppressing for so long. Things, you know, that I'd like to go do and see and experience in life, or things I'd like to create in life. And all of those things that I've been suppressing for so long, which causes, you know, unfulfillment and unhappiness and being, you know, the feeling of being stuck in life and all of that. Whereas, you know, once I started looking at those things, identifying them, and saying, you know what, yeah, that really turns me on, that really gets me passionate and excited, that's what I want to do, right? And now when I wake up every day, I'll tell you what, you know, because how many people out there hate Mondays? You know, today's Monday, right? I woke up today excited about what I was going to create today, and getting to connect with you, and just the cool things that I, you know, am going to do today. Whereas before, I dreaded Mondays, right? I dreaded getting up and having to go do the same old, and the drudgery of life and that kind of thing. And I think it's so sad that so many people live like that, and they don't know that there's another option. And that's where you come in. And I'll go ahead and tell you this. I haven't told you this yet, but I very recently made the decision that I am going to become a certified life coach.
Oh, awesome!
Yes, and you are one of the inspirations.
Oh my gosh!
For that.
Thank you.
Yeah, I you know, came across your story and came across your website and all the things you were doing. I was just so fascinated and intrigued by it. And you start reading, like, the testimonials, and you know, you know, call me what you will, but I was in tears when I was reading some of the testimonials, and just, like, seeing the change, the real transformation that people can have just by a conversation, right? And that's priceless. I mean, that is just absolutely priceless, to be able to help somebody transform their life and to live a happier, more fulfilled life. It's just so cool. So thank you, Sally.
Oh, thank you for telling me that.
Yeah.
Thank you, and congratulations. It's a pretty rewarding job.
Yeah, you know, and I'm a free spirit too, so I like the idea of, and I've been an entrepreneur for a while now, but never really been, like, truly fulfilled with what I was doing as an entrepreneur. But this is a way that I can be an entrepreneur, you know, like, set my own hours, call my own shots, right, make my own rules, and be who I really am, and at the same time, just really deeply inspire and transform people's lives in a very positive way. And I think, yeah, it's just got to be so rewarding, you know. So I look up to you for that, and I'm looking forward to learning more from you, and probably getting some coaching sessions from you, so I can experience the real deal.
All right, anytime.
Yeah, so All right, let's do this real quick. We got a few more minutes here. I want to at least touch on the Wildheart revolution that you're starting because I want to bring awareness to that.
Cool.
I know it's kind of in the works really right now, and it's not officially launched. But what can you tell us about the Wildheart revolution?
So excited!
Yeah,
I love it. Yeah, I can say that with 100% confidence. I'm really excited about it. So basically, the Wildheart revolution is my answer to what I see as a problem in the coaching structure. So I love life coaching. I think it's amazing. I personally have a coach. I've been a coach for many, many people, and I've seen the results. But I think there's a gap. So there's something missing. What we have right now is pretty high-end, expensive, one-on-one coaching with me and whoever else, other coaches out in the world. And then we have programs, that you have like a group, and then you have, 8 weeks to find your true love or something like that. Mm-hmm. But what I find is missing is what I really want, which is the ongoing lessons and learning and practice. So much of what coaching is practice. It's practicing the things we already know. It's practicing new things we learn. It's over and over again learning stuff and being like, oh my gosh, this time I finally get it. In a group setting, in an environment where you have a ton of support, a ton of people who are doing the same thing, and for a cheap price tag. So it's going to be $35 a month. And what you get for being part of the Wildheart Revolution is weekly coaching lessons and homework, a private Facebook group where you can discuss all of that and check in with your homework. You get a group coaching call with me personally. You get Facebook office hours where you're like, I'm stuck, this is what I'm going through today. You type it all out. It's like a chat, and I type back and I coach chat. And so those are the logistics. But the thing that happens when I did my first group, it was magical. What happened was the people that were attracted to it were such like minds. So it was a group of really amazing, dynamic, intelligent, spiritually aware, at least to some degree, people who all had normal challenges in their lives. Should I quit my job? Should I leave my partner? What do I do to, improve my spirituality? How do I navigate this wedding I have to go to where my ex is going to be there? It's like very normal, everyday problems.
Yeah.
With a group of people that are there to support and love you, and a life coach at the helm who's there to help you navigate through all of this stuff called life on an ongoing basis. So it's not just, I don't know if you have a coach, but for me, sometimes when I have an appointment with my coach, I don't have anything to talk about, and it's those moments at 3 a.m. when I'm freaking out, that I really could use the support.
Gotcha.
That's what the Wildheart Revolution's for. It's it's everything that you don't have right now.
Nice. That's so cool. Well, I'm looking forward to experiencing that for sure. Do you have any idea when this will be launched, or when we can?
Right now the tentative date is around August 9th, but if I talk about it a lot on my social media, so on my Facebook page or on Twitter, on Instagram too. I'm going to just be giving out updates all the time on what's going on behind the scenes and when it's available to the public.
Nice. All right. Well, I'll be looking forward to that for sure.
Thank you.
Yeah, that does sound exciting. And and that's, life coaching does the same thing, but it definitely is easier to traverse life and to figure out solutions to life challenges when you have some, battle buddies, if you want to call them that, or some people got your back, really, that really, truly, sincerely care about helping you through it, than trying to just figure it out all in your head, right? And I did that for so long, just trying to figure out all of my own problems in my own head, and that's so hard to do, and it's so frustrating, and it causes more confusion a lot of times. Yeah. So that's cool. I think that's great, and it sounds like it'll be accessible for pretty much anyone. $35 a month is cheap.
And that's what I wanted to do. A lot of people advised me against that, and told me to do higher price points. But for me, to be honest, when I really needed something like this, I couldn't have afforded more than that. And that's my purpose here. My point is, this is for everybody.
Nice.
And this is for the people that are really, wanting to be involved in something that's different, involved in something that's connected and cool and fun too.
Yeah.
And, I've never done anything like this before, and, most people probably haven't either. So I look at it like we're all in it together. Like whoever, joins the Wildheart Revolution is part of building the Wildheart Revolution. And to me, that's what's really exciting. It's the energy of all the people involved together creating this thing that's like never really been done in this way before.
Nice.
At a price point that anybody can afford.
Yeah, right on. I mean, that's that's completely cheap. That's like a couple meals a week or something, So let me ask you this: like, have you considered? I don't know if I read this somewhere on your site or if it was somebody else, but have you considered doing, like, from this Wildheart Revolution group, because you said it's like minds and everything like that, and I know you're an adventurous type of person as well. Do you think, have you thought about doing like a group outing or anything like that?
Oh yeah, Montana retreat, Montana like summer camp. Yeah, I mean, my vision for Wildheart is actually much bigger than just this. I see Wildheart Revolution as an umbrella, and under the umbrella are all kinds of lifestyle fun things. So I have I'm going to be creating, I'm currently creating, like a jewelry line and clothes and music, and then a personal development wing, which is, my coaching, and I'm working on some programs and some books.
Nice.
And then the live Live Wildheart events. So, there'll be outings, very much, adventurous Montana outings, cool. Maybe even a conference or something that involves, all of these things, speakers and music and Sweet. Activities. And so that's my bigger picture of it. Okay. I see it growing into that. And the Wildheart Revolution private community is just the beginning. It's my original Wildhearts who are like building this together with me. I look at it like a family, the people that are already in there now. I'm just like, oh, I love you guys so much. And
well, that's cool. Well,
so I have considered that, and I'm looking forward to that. And
that'd be exciting to watch this whole thing grow from just the spark of an idea to, a whole movement, right? A whole movement that happens.
Yeah, that's it.
Cool. Well, good. Well, I look forward to being a part of that and helping you do it, and I'll definitely help spread the message and everything.
Thank you. Yeah, I appreciate you.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Sure. Let's see here. All right, let's go ahead and wrap it up here because it's been about a half hour. Let me ask you this though: what is the most important piece of wisdom or life experience that you would like to impart to anybody watching this right now that they can take away and apply in their life today?
Gosh, okay, that's a great question. The first thing that came to my mind was self-reflection is the answer.
Even if it's painful, even if it hurts for a minute, right?
Yeah, well, people don't do it because they're afraid it hurts, but it hurts either way.
True.
Pain is pain, and pain is a part of life, but we don't have to suffer from our pain. And that's what self-reflection speaks to. The more aware we are, the more conscious we are about our patterns, about what we do, about what's going on in our lives right now, the more joy we can experience, even with our pain. Because, people come to me sometimes and they're like, I don't want to feel pain. And I'm like, you're a human being, sorry.
You can't get around that one.
You're gonna. But what we can do is come up with things that work for you that help you to not suffer when you have pain.
Beautiful. That's very good. All right, so why don't you do this then? Why don't you just tell our viewers, whoever's watching this, where they can learn more about you, where they can connect with you personally, anything you'd like to leave at the end here.
Okay, first of all, thank you so much, Nash, for having me. This has been really fun, and really excited to see what you create from here on out.
Thank you.
So anybody watching, if you'd like to find me, you can find me at sallyhope.com. My website is being redone. It's going to be fancy and new in a few weeks here. Very exciting. sallyhope.com. I'm very active on social media, so find me on Facebook, which is facebook.com/sallyhopesays. Twitter, Sally Hope Says, same thing, and Instagram. I love posting photos from my adventurous fun life, and
cool.
Instagram, Sally Hope.
Okay, good. I'll have links also to all of those on the page that this is posted at, so everybody will be able to do the old clicky and get over there and meet you. So that's
Come
cool.
say hello. I love meeting new people.
Exciting. Well, good deal. Well, listen, Sally, I appreciate you being here. Appreciate who you are. Appreciate all that you're doing in the world to help people, because the world needs more people like you out there just uplifting humanity and and just causing positive change. I think humanity has been going down the wrong path for a long time, and it's people like you that are helping to kind of get things on the right path and help people tap into their authentic selves, so that they can really experience happiness and fulfillment the way life is supposed to be. So I appreciate you, and
thank you.
Look forward to connecting with you some more in the future. So
likewise.
With that, this is Nash Riker with Your Epic Destiny TV. I encourage you all to go out there and pursue your own epic destiny that's waiting for you right now. So with that, we'll see you next time, guys. Love and peace.
Bye.